This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to Digital Perspectives, everybody. I'm Brad Kimes. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradley above at the top of the screen and everything that we're talking about here today. Okay, so I want to go down memory lane a little bit because of some news that we had today and then take an overall look at the picture of just exactly what is going on today. Okay, so now, before we get into that, I do want to remind everybody, if you have not done it yet, please get on the rich list, the Digital Perspectives rich list. And if you haven't taken the educational courses, learn how to buy, sell, hold, and understand crypto. Right now, there's a lesson blocks about how to understand crypto. There will be other lessons built off of that. And make sure you're on that monthly newsletter. There will be exclusive content in that specifically for you guys in that newsletter. So make sure you guys do that. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this thing today. So, do you remember the time, and maybe you've been in the space long enough and maybe you haven't, but do you remember the time when the Federal Reserve Faster Payments Task Force had Ripple on it? Do you remember that back in 2017? Do you remember Ripple played a leading role in establishing this future vision for payments in the early in the process? They were elected to serve on the steering committee to represent tech companies and provide expertise on emerging technology and blockchain. One of the task force's first achievements was to establish a set of effective criteria for faster payments. This served as a long-term target for new solutions, defining the capabilities needed to meet market demands of 2020 and beyond. This framework includes 36 criteria grouped into 6 categories: speed, efficiency, safety, and security, and legal, governance, and ubiquity. With over 100 detailed benchmarks for each, true to being a future vision, no existing solution meets all of these criteria. Next, the task force requested proposals for ways to fulfill the criteria, for each of which was being assessed by McKinsey. And then there was the steering committee, which Ryan Zagone from Ripple, who was formerly of Ripple at the time, at Ripple, served on, which was the implementation of the findings from the Federal Reserve Faster Payments Task Force in the McKinsey report. That is unbelievable. Back from 2016, and they may have been actually more engaged early on, but it really kicked off in 2017 for Ripple. From that Ripple Insights. Now let's keep moving, because this is all going to tie into what's happening today, for one, like this right here, and then we're going to talk about some other aspects that are taking place exactly at the same time in the markets and put them together here in a minute. So then today we have the Fed Payments Improvement is participating in a Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure, CPMI, Cross-Border Payments Task Force, on ways to promote cross-border payments that are faster, less expensive, transparent, and inclusive. And what I want to point out in this diagram here is this: the public and private sector commitment. Develop common cross-border payments vision and targets. Implement international guidance and principles. Define common features of cross-border payment service levels. Now, I could read the whole thing. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Honestly, when you read all of this, you understand that it is absolutely a blueprint or a framework that Ripple has been working with since day one to make sure that they could serve the needs and work within the financial system. It is obvious. It is not even disputable. Now, the thing I want to point out about the public and private sector commitment is this. Jerome Powell from the Federal Reserve has been adamant publicly about not wanting to involve the private sector. But the reality is this has been taking place for years, the private-public relationship with Ripple, especially in the manner of the finance system and cross-border payments. Okay. Now, to couple that, let's shift gears just a little bit. Brad Garlinghouse made a comment here, and he says, as I was saying, crypto shines like gold. MicroStrategy's move to diversify in favor of digital assets is bold and brilliant. One of the first companies to do so, but certainly won't be the last. Let's take a look at these original comments from August 3rd really quickly, and then we're going to take a look at that company. So, as Fundstrat said, it comes down to trust financial system at the end of the day. As global populations continue to lose confidence in fiat currencies, as we're seeing with USD, they will choose to diversify. Our future global financial system will do the same. Now, if we come up to the previous two that it started with, the threat on the USD as well as the world reserve currency has been the backbone of global financial infrastructure. Listen closely. And that position isn't going to disappear in favor of gold, the yuan, or crypto, or any other asset anytime soon. But is it weaker today? Yes. A year ago, many decreed crypto as a scam. And now a majority of governments are looking seriously at blockchain. It addresses friction, settlement transparency. They are assumed very hard to solve before. Crypto is up 80%. While the USD is down 3% on August 3rd when he was writing this. So let's look at MicroStrategies, the company that he's complimenting. And we're going to look at the article itself, and there's something to be found there. The MicroStrategy platform provides all capabilities organizations need to build, deploy, analytics, the mobility applications that transform and accelerate businesses. So moving on to the article itself from Fortune, software firm MicroStrategies makes a massive bet on Bitcoin with a $250 million purchase. Now listen to this, because this is quite interesting to me. This is a company making an investment in Bitcoin, a capital allocation strategy, right? MicroStrategy, a Virginia-based business intelligence software company that trades on the NASDAQ, announced on Tuesday it has acquired 21,454 Bitcoin in what describes as a capital allocation strategy. The move is a novel one for a publicly traded firm. While many companies put surplus capital into bonds and other investments as a part of their treasury management strategies, a bet of this size on Bitcoin is all but unheard of. Investing in cryptocurrency would provide not only a reasonable hedge against inflation, but also the prospect of earning higher return than other investments, said the company in a statement. MicroStrategy, which was founded in 1989, has a market cap of $1.2 billion and posted profit of $34 million in 2019. Its clients reportedly include big retailers like, listen to this, Pepsi and Adidas, while IBM and Oracle are among its competitors. This is not a corner store, ladies and gentlemen. MicroStrategy's decision to plow $250 million into Bitcoin may amount to more than a capital allocation strategy. Barry Silbert, from the founder of crypto conglomerate DCG, noted on Twitter that the move could serve to tie MicroStrategy's valuation to Bitcoin. If the investors equate MicroStrategy's valuation with Bitcoin's performance, it would be the only company in this position. The online retailer Overstock is also heavily invested in crypto, a strategy that may have buoyed its share price even at its core business slumps. The strategy could pay off if Bitcoin prices, which have rallied in recent months, continue to rise after slumping for most of 2019. The cryptocurrency has risen around 12,000 in August, as we know. Many crypto boosters believe the price's increase is tied to the flood of money printed by central banks in recent months as countries try to stave off economic crisis triggered by the pandemic. Unlike national currencies, Bitcoin has a finite supply. It goes through the whole deal. You guys know the deal. Anyway, a publicly traded company from 1989, guys. A publicly traded company that was founded in 1989. And we're talking about dealing with clients like Pepsi and Adidas. MicroStrategy is not a new startup. It has been around. It is a traditional company that's been serving the needs of the likes of Pepsi and Adidas. And they've made this massive, massive move into capital allocation strategy or capital markets. Now, If you don't know, I just wanted to pull this up in its actual definition, rawest form. Capital market, the part of financial system concerned with raising capital by dealing in shares, bonds, and other long-term investments. Now, here's what I find really unique about this, because at the end of the day, what you're really seeing is the reallocation of funds where they would normally buy shares of something else, bonds of something else in the traditional markets, right? Long-term products and investment products in the traditional markets. That's not what they did. And when you think about Brad Garlinghouse's comments and what he's talking about in that particular statement that he made, it's pretty remarkable to me, because as I was saying, crypto shines like gold. MicroStrategy's move to diversify in favor of digital assets is bold and brilliant. He is really tipping the hat and giving the nod to them that they're choosing to move away from the traditional products. And I mean, look, they've done what most people won't do. Right? They've decided to allocate a lot of money, 240 billion or 240 million, excuse me, like that. That is a lot of money. Now, when it comes to what we've seen with the OCC allowing banks, federally chartered banks, to custody crypto, knowing that they can now carry digital assets on their balance sheet, look, I'm no economist and I'm not a regulator, but I can't imagine what else they have to have in order to start using it for payments. I really can't. For the life of me, I don't see why they couldn't just start using it for payments. If they can carry it on their balance sheet, it's a done deal, right? I don't know, but we'll see. But this is interesting in knowing that we got a more clear, more defined federal charter from the OCC coming out in the fall, which I expect to really become the framework of a regulatory sandbox as we move forward, allowing innovation and fintech to grow without being inhibited, but still having some rules on the field. So to me, what I really see is just so many different angles of all the things we're seeing. It's so many different angles bringing its way into the traditional markets. There is a convergence happening here. An actual convergence in so many different areas. I mean, the public-private sector, right? We see they broke that a long time ago. They've been on the inside since day one, damn near. Then you come into the idea notion that you're now seeing companies like MicroStrategy actually choose to go to the capital markets and say, you know what, instead of the traditional products, I want to bring crypto into my portfolio, into my holdings for my company, because I have, as Brad Garlinghouse, I see a deficiency out here in the markets, whether it's in the products themselves or in the gains that they do or do not have at this current time, or because what they're seeing is a larger issue, which is a currency issue. Right? The loss of confidence in the fiat in general, let alone the US dollar, having some lack of confidence in that as well. Now, I have to agree with Brad Garlinghouse. I don't see fiat going away. But what I do see is a clear narrative where companies are taking a pivot. Are they taking a bigger step as MicroStrategy? No. But are we looking at the potential of hedge funds, mutual funds, private equity funds, and other companies taking a position in crypto between 1% to 3% allocation in their portfolio? Oh, I think so. And then when you look at the other side of this, where you see Grayscale now hitting mainstream media and going out there and letting people know about the crypto investment funds that they have, this is really remarkable. I think we are going to see an explosion of activity into the crypto space, and I can't tell you how exciting it is that we're all here to witness it together. There's no doubt about it. Okay, now one more thing. I did cover this in the morning video, and I have to say, Flare Network is a very real network. I caught a lot of heat on Twitter, and I just took the post down because I got sick of seeing the negative comments. But the reality is that the Flare Network is a very real network. I shared some stuff this morning on Twitter where you can see that they were working with Spring, Ripple's development arm, And this is remarkable. They have the Spark token, and there is a lot of thing. I am oversimplifying it when I say it is a DeFi program and it's about staking. It sure is, but there's a lot of other implications about the interoperability with other networks out here as well about this project. So this gets more interesting by the day, I have to say. But one thing I can really tell you is that I don't think we're far away from seeing this market move in a way that we have never witnessed before, because this moment where crypto is never been here before. We are literally living a new experience every day in the crypto space. And I think maybe that's what is so exciting to me, is that, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow now, because we are moving out of a bear market, and banks now can custody digital assets for themselves and for us. And that's really exciting. So every day onward is almost like a history making day, the way things are unfolding. And I just couldn't be more excited. Okay, so the Flare network is a real deal. Just to highlight it again, I just want to touch on it. There's a lot of inconsistencies out here, but it's very real, and so is the Spark token. And we'll try to learn more about that as we go along. All right, guys, one more thing. A lot of hacks going out there. I just had another person send me a message that they got hacked, and I just want to remind you, pure VPN guys, be anonymous when you're online. Okay, help protect yourself when you're out here online. I don't know of anybody who doesn't need it. There's a link in the description, link in the comments. Make sure you check it out. Free 7-day trial if you use the link. So make sure you guys definitely check that out. That's going to do it for me. Hit the like and subscribe, and I will catch all of you on the next one.